Eric Metaxas. Eric's a big star. He's like a big Salem media star. I'm going to plug Eric's book for Donald Builds the Wall. Eric Metaxas and Tim Ragland. They have this kid's book, Donald Builds the Wall. And Eric's like a legend. He's on AM 970, The Answer, every evening.
10 o'clock.
And kind enough to join us live. Was it tough out there traffic-wise?
Joe.
Yeah.
It was hell.
Oh.
Listen, I was born in.
You made it in,
I'm
brother.
a New Yorker. I was born in Queens. Now
That's
I
right,
moved
that's
to a
right.
different borough. But let me tell you something. Taking the subway is usually the greatest way to get anywhere.
Yeah.
This morning,
Nothing. You took the subway.
look. Do you see how I'm sweating?
Matt,
I
you
got all
didn't send
dressed
a
up
car-
because I'm on video.
You didn't send a car to Mr. Metaxas?
Oh,
You've missed
he
the
said
call.
I'm like a legend. I'm not a legend, but I'm like a legend in my own mind. No, listen, it's just a joy to sit with you. I have loved you for forever, and to sit with you here on your program. I just got to say two things. Number one, I'm a New Yorker, and it amazes me that I'm on the same station every day from 10 to midnight. So I want to say to your listeners, if you're bored between 10 and midnight, please tune into my show. I have some of the most amazing guests. It's not about me. I have guests that are, today, I have a woman, okay, this is today, who was in Romania. She defied Ceausescu. One of the most brave stories I've ever heard. An assassin came in to kill her. Wait, this is tonight on my show. It's insane. I have people on every day.
Why did they? I'm afraid
but the real because Ceausescu was a fascist, socialist, dictator, SOB who murdered you if he didn't like the way you looked. I mean, it's so sick. But she talks about socialism, whatever. She lived. My mother grew up under that in East Germany. So my father was in Greece during the Civil War with the communists. So I'm as anti-communist as it gets. But that's so my show is like it's just crazy. But the reason I'm here to talk to Joe Piscopo is because I got a book to sell.
You got Donald Builds the Wall.
Donald Builds the Wall. It's a prophetic statement, okay? It's not just a kid's book.
Yeah.
Donald Builds the Wall. He's building the wall. Today in the news, they gave him funding to build more of the wall. The first book is called Donald Drains the Swamp. What do you think's going on with this impeachment? The swamp is going to get drained. This is getting ugly. We're seeing stuff every night on Sean Hannity.
It'll be okay.
No, it's going to be more than okay. It's going to boomerang.
Don't you think so? I really think
listen,
so.
I will tell you right now.
Yeah.
I will guarantee it's going to boomerang.
Yeah.
It's going to be their worst nightmare because what they have done, it's like if you poke the bear, Trump is the bear. He's like, okay, you want to fight? Let's have an investigation.
Yeah.
A fair
Yeah.
This is not tit for tat.
I'm going to plug your book 10 times because I know you. We know each other. Donald Builds the Wall. Eric Metaxas. How's Dick Cavett?
Listen, I talk to him all the time.
Love him.
He had like a mini stroke, so he's absolutely no. He's absolutely fine because his brain is like the most amazing brain on planet Earth. But I love him. I just love him. What can I tell
Eric,
you?
will you stay with? We're going to do a Joey Reynolds right here. Can we get Matt? Bring Michael Longoria in for 2 seconds before we break because we have to break. What are we breaking for news or we going to news for a second?
No. We did news already.
Traffic. Traffic.
Yeah, that's in 10 minutes.
Okay, good. We got to look. Can I open it up a little bit here?
Yeah, absolutely.
I have to tell you, Eric. I have to tell you this. I want to bring to the airways now. This is what our dear friend Joey Reynolds, who I absolutely adore, Joey, in this studio, he would bring in.
I was here.
I was here with Ben
We talked
Gazzara.
about
Ben Gazzara.
We talked about UFOs at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah. It was scary. I got scared.
So now Eric is in there. Eric's like a brother, and I know him 100 years, and we're Salem brothers together. So he's here. So I had a buddy that I know I met through a dear friend, and the kid's name is Michael Longoria, who I worked with. He played Frankie Valli on Broadway, and I want to just promote this new CD that he has. This is Like They Do in Movies. Sings Like an Angel. We were together only about a month ago, and he's kind enough to join us.
Hey.
Michael Longoria. Michael,
Hey,
how are you,
what's
man?
going on,
There it is.
guys?
How
How's
are
it
you,
going?
man?
Nice to hear you. Nice to see you on the radio finally.
And this is Eric. This kid on Broadway played Frankie Valli. And correct me if I'm wrong. I was telling the guys you did Joey Pesci. Didn't you do Joe?
Yeah,
Pesci?
well, I was in the original cast of Jersey Boys when we opened in 2005. I played Joe Pesci, and I was.
He played Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
He played. Come on.
Hey, you think I'm funny? Hey.
Go get your shine
Hey.
box.
Hey.
Hey, you know something? No joke. I met Martin Scorsese. I talked to him, and at the end of the conversation, I said to him, "Hey, go get your shine box." He didn't get the joke.
He's like, I thought I cut that line.
You know,
He didn't get the joke.
Michael, did you? I saw you do Joe Pesci.
Oh, you did? Yes.
Joey's from Bloomfield Avenue.
That's so funny.
Did you study it because you're too young?
Well, what's funny is that there was a video of him when he was 16 dancing. He was a dancer, like a little 16-year-old.
He
had
like
talent.
with Frankie Vincent.
He wanted to be a singer dancer, and then he knew Frankie Valli and he knew Bob Gaudio, and he put the group together. That's kind of why I was in the show. But I was also playing Frankie Valli in the matinees. So I was playing 2 parts at the same time in this big hit show. It was a pretty awesome
Eric,
acting challenge.
We always complain about radio shifts. You believe that?
I want to listen. He's a third of our age, so I got no sympathy for this guy. But could we just like all trade careers for 1 week?
Hey.
For 1 week, I want to be on Broadway.
Wait,
Hey,
singing.
I'll talk
See-
about UFOs. I love that. I believe.
We were at the studio, Michael. You weren't even born yet. The studio, we would have some broadcasters come in, and they would talk about like the most esoteric things. But
Yes.
before like cable, before you were
Before
born-
ancient aliens.
Yeah, they would talk about these wild things, and people would listen.
Yes.
Actually, listen to this thing, you know.
Hey, you got to
So
get
wait,
entertained.
But you did Joe Pesci, and then you did Frankie Valli in the matinees.
Yes,
Are
and
you-
then eventually Frankie Valli came to see me with his 2 sons in the audience, and then he came and pinched my cheeks, and that was the stamp of approval. Then I got the part. It was pretty awesome.
You know, you were great as Frankie on
Thanks,
Broadway in
man.
Jersey Boys. And I have to tell you, Eric, I was with this young man. We went to an event, and it was about a month ago, maybe a couple months ago
Yeah.
now. And a buddy of ours, a producer, he goes, Joe, I want you to come down. I want you to run this thing. It was like a private party, private thing, like they do in Beverly Hills, but this was in Jersey, down the shore, down the what do they call it, the Riviera of New Jersey, right? Was that beautiful down there?
Yeah, Atlantic City, right?
They say Michael Longoria is going to be there. I go, are you kidding me? Michael's going to be there. I go down. You were
Thank
you
you,
know
man.
what I love about this? The guy that brought us in is a dear friend.
Yes.
And when we're the dear friend, there's something about friendship, and you and I have been brothers now for a long time.
Yeah,
And I know
absolutely.
Eric feels the same way. It's like you really work. You poured your heart out that night. You were
Thanks,
great
man.
that
Yeah,
night.
I was singing all
Not-
these songs from
Not
this
like you
album.
usually do on Broadway, where you just mail it in.
You know what, just
'Cause
mark it.
I've seen your act.
Well, you know what's funny? On Broadway, you're definitely controlled a little bit by what the direction is, what the writer wrote. And when I'm singing my own songs, it's like, you're right. I am pouring my own heart and soul out there. I'm kind of just giving your human element, which for me is that voice.
He did it. He's not going to brag on himself. Joe Piscopo on the Salem. Listen, we did a thing around. We went to the Statue of Liberty on this boat, right? And I said, what am I in for?
Atlantis.
They were all here. Gattulo was there. He's checked out, not looking at his mail. But let me tell you something.
Okay. He's checking his checking
You
Hinge.
get a private thing.
Tinder.
Joe Piscopo with his 2 kids put on a performance. I could not believe. And let me tell you something. Your imitation of Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
Everybody
Yes.
else was
I've
like,
seen it.
drinking their cocktails and stuff. And I'm 10 feet away. I said, this is the greatest impression I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Of
Eric, you said that. Thank you. You
the
know what?
best
He's great at
I've
Frank Sinatra,
ever
too.
seen. The way you shrugged, the way you mugged. And I
The
know
mugged.
you know what you're doing.
The way you
but a
lugged.
lot of people in the room, they were not appreciating it.
Thank you for saying
I'm
that.
telling you.
How dare they?
I was noticing them, and I was angry. I was like, do you understand what's in front of you
That
right
is
now?
showbiz.
What this guy is doing in front of you?
He didn't miss a mark, did he? He still put them tap shoes on. He still had that whole dance routine.
He had more. He had more going on there. It was like, it reminds me of what you said about Mr. Longoria here. That you poured himself. He poured himself out
thanks.
in front of this group.
You know
of-
what? Thanks, Eric. You did.
You
You
have
walked,
to.
Eric. Well, you know when you do things on stage, I'm sure you did it as Frankie.
Yes.
You do things for yourself.
Oh,
That get you
absolutely.
into character.
Yeah.
And Eric picked up what I was doing about Bruce. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate
man.
you, Eric. That's very kind of you. And but I want to plug. First of all, we got plugs. We got a little time. Eric, so when you sang, he brought. Kids from Broadway came down.
Oh,
You
wow.
You had.
Yeah.
I didn't have people behind me singing.
Ah.
I was by myself singing. And now the end of there. And Michael gets up. He's got singers behind him.
Well, hey, I have an image to
You
protect.
gotta bring the,
you know?
the posse.
These are young people. They got nothing going
I had
on.
people
They're
who-
not married. They got no kids.
They
They
had
got no
to go
alimony.
thank God, right, for that.
No, so it was great. So
It was great. It was a good rehearsal because I'm actually bringing this. I'm doing a concert here in New York City at Green Room 42 on October 10th at 9:30 p.m.
Got to see Michael.
It's at the Yotel. You know the Yotel
Yes,
Hotel?
yes.
They have a venue there that all the Broadway people are doing concerts in, and I'm doing my own there, my first time.
The Yotel. I always
Yotel,
drive
Green Room
past that,
42.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, what goes on in that building?
Well,
It looks
there's
kinda
plenty
weird.
that goes on there, but on the second floor, there's the cabaret space.
That's great, though.
The funny story about Yotel, separate from my cabaret on October 10th, but the first time I went there, I went to a brunch, and I got they had those bottomless drinks, and then I promised myself after that brunch I would never go to the hotel again, ever, because that's how sick I got. But here I am. I'm bringing my concert there, like they do in the movies, October 10th. But I won't be wasted there on that day.
No, this is good. October 10th, and where can we
9:30, Green Room 42.
Where can we find you, Michael, so people can buy tickets?
Well, you can go to the Green Room 42 website. I'm also going to be in San Francisco October 16th at the Nico. If you're in San Francisco, you could check this concert out.
We actually have people listening to San Francisco. They call all the time.
The Bay Area, man. That
so
place
you're
is
working.
awesome.
You're working the clubs, man.
I'm working the clubs.
God
you know,
bless you.
I'm trying to keep my voice in shape.
Sounds better than ever.
Thank you so much.
I don't know what you did. I mean, you were brilliant on Broadway.
Thanks,
always brilliant. That when we were together a couple of months ago, maybe it was because it was our buddy. We were pouring our hearts out. You nailed it and went beyond the range.
Well, it was just I think it's these songs. You know, these are all movie love songs that is on this album. It's all you know songs that you're gonna know from the 70s, 80s, 90s on. But they're done from a male perspective. And a very like I don't know. I take everything on kind of like Frankie Valli did. You know, Frankie Valli had that gut wrenching like singing from your gut. So all the songs on this album are kind of like that, and you know they're all kind of epic.
So the name of the album is Michael Longoria, Like They Do in Movies. I'm going to hold that right up here if you can. And don't forget our buddy Eric Metaxas, who got stuck on a subway. I'm sorry about that. Eric, at 10 o'clock tonight, you got to listen to that show. That's a riveting show that has. And I like
it's the guest. Every night, if you hate it one night, tune in the next night. It'll be totally different.
Yeah, so, and Donald builds the wall. This is for your kids.
Oh, my God.
Are there any Trump voters in the tri-state area? I need your help, all right? Donald builds the wall. Donald drains the swamp. Come on, help a guy out.
Can I give a big shout out to Joey Reynolds for creating this platform right here? Joey Reynolds, he was one of the great broadcasters, and he would do this. And it's not bad. Now I know why Joey did it. That was fun.
It's fun. It's like the Merv Griffin show.
It was a good time.
Michael, I love you, man.
Hey, I love you too, man.
God bless
you for seeing me, guys.
And don't forget the Midtown Men in Broadway on October 9th, I believe it is. Right?
Yes. We're still touring. I'm still touring with the original cast of Jersey Boys as the Midtown Men. We're kicking some.
And Michael Longoria, if you Google Michael Longoria, you'll see where this brilliant young talent is. And don't forget about Eric's book, Donald Builds the Wall. Piscopo, the morning.